just recently, they asked the most brilliant person on the planet, from a mathematical point of view, what was going on with the sun? Where was this energy coming from? And his theory was that it's a great big stack of lumber that's burning. The most brilliant genius in mathematics in the history of the world, Isaac Newton. I said recently, that was to throw you off a little bit. But I mean, in terms of, if you think in terms of 200,000 years, all right, a couple hundred years is recently, right? Isaac Newton thought it was a great big pile of lumber burning. This guy, honestly, his toenail, more intelligent than I am, but he couldn't, that's what he thought. That's how he lived. I mean, and we are riddled with those kinds of assumptions. So I'm trying to get you a sense of, to be freed up. We have to cherish the knowledge we do have, but at the same time hold it with a very light touch, and to be ready to move away from it as necessary. So, so what we now know through careful observation and experimentation is that in the center of the sun, matter is being transformed into light. I mean, this is one of the greatest discoveries ever. This is Einstein, E equals mc squared. I mean, let's not go into the mathematics, but every second, 4 million tons of the sun is being transformed into light. Every second. Everything that's happening on the planet in terms of life is powered by that transformation. But here's another part of it, though. So in other words, I'm saying that what we've learned is our profound dependence upon the sun. You know, some people say, oh God, you can't make it with solar power. That's all there is solar power ultimately. All the animals, all the oil, whatever we're burning, whatever's happening, is coming from the sun. Now, here's something else to reflect on. This is the movement from idea to embodiment. Here it is. The transformation of mass into energy is taking place within us every second. That's actually how we are transforming the food into our activity. We're actually translating, we're actually changing, transmuting a little tiny bit of the matter into light. Now, wouldn't that be a wonderful thing to think about for like 3,000 years? To really take that in. So then, like I said, this can be viewed one way. Oh, Brian, you're just talking about the physical stuff. That's like physical energy. I'm interested in spiritual energy. So what if you go beyond that kind of false dualism? And then suddenly you realize that we're talking about a physical, spiritual energy here. And this transformation is the most crucial spiritual transformation happening in the universe. Okay, so, all right. Then Earth, whoa, one of the planets of our solar system. How many are there? Turns out there are 8 planets. About 10 years ago, how many were there? 9. Okay, and then go back 100 years, how many were there? 5. You know, I mean, so we're changing how many planets there are and so forth. But we have a little sense of our sun, a little tiny number of planets flying around. Our sun is one star of the Milky Way. There are 200 billion stars in the Milky Way. It's a nice star. It's some people say it's middle of the road. Well, that's cool because it's not weird. It's just sort of it's part of the community of stars of the Milky Way galaxy. Milky Way galaxy, 200 billion stars. Wow. I mean, if you could visit a new star every 10 seconds, it would take you millions of years to just visit them. It's so long just to get it. So in other words, immense. It's an immense. Now, surrounding the Milky Way galaxy are other galaxies. And then if you go out a couple of million light years, like way out, you come to a galaxy the same size as the Milky Way, the Andromeda Galaxy. So right nearby we have maybe a couple dozen galaxies. When I say nearby, I mean, 2 million, 12 million trillion miles. So I mean, that's nearby compared to the universe as a whole. But here's another amazing fact. Milky Way galaxy, 200 billion stars. Okay, I'm impressed. But we did not know if there was one galaxy or more until the 20th century. Current estimates are the number of galaxies that we can count and see around 150 billion. That's a big change, okay? It's the year 1901. I wonder if there's a second galaxy. God, this is a great place to be, the Milky Way. I wonder if there's a second one out there. No, a little more than that, 150 billion. I remember one time, it's like one of the ways I was wounded as a teacher. I was back in New York, and I had this, my wife's friend, she lived across the street. She was a lawyer. And she came over and she said, what's that? It was a picture of the nearest million galaxies to us. And she said, what's that? And I said, oh God, this is fantastic. Like observatory, star numerous galaxies, how many stars there are and so forth. And about halfway through, her face fell. She started walking downstairs, ran across the street, upset. My wife went over there. It just totally demolished her day. My little enthusiasm demolished her day. Why? She felt completely flattened by the immensity of what we're discovering. So I think one of the huge challenges before us is, as Robert said, can we find a way to feel at home in our bodies, as earthlings, in the universe? Can we find a way to be at home? Or are we going to just continue what's been going on with most religious organizations, just sort of blot out the universe? Don't even think about it. It's too painful. Let me read the Bible one more time, you know. So it's trying to open up in this sense of learning a way that we are actually in deep relationship to this universe as a whole. Okay, all right, here we have, I got it out to like 10 million light years. And all these galaxies are going around each other. They're all going around each other. And that's called the local group of galaxies. The local group. Last step. The local group of galaxies is going around another cluster of galaxies. It's called the Virgo supercluster of galaxies altogether. What a perfect time to walk in. The Virgo, okay. The Virgo, okay, I know, okay. Maybe my enthusiasm is outrunning your interest here, but just give me another like 35 seconds. The Virgo cluster of galaxies, we're going around it. We, when I say we, I mean the Milky Way galaxy, are going around the Virgo cluster. Remember before I had the Earth going around the sun? And I said, hey, here's the ratio. The sun is 1,000,000 times the size of the Earth. Okay, now we've got our local group of galaxies, 24 galaxies, right? It's going around the Virgo cluster. Same ratio, not exactly. The Virgo cluster of galaxies consists of 3,000 galaxies. That's the center of our supercluster. When I was young and very naive, and I was idealistic then, but I also had a shortened sense of time available. And I used to get upset by the fact that the Virgo cluster of galaxies consists of 3,000 galaxies, and almost nobody knows about it. but everybody knows about Frank Sinatra. That would really get my anger going, all right? So I was on a crusade, change the world. It does seem relatively important. I mean, you know, imagine how much experience is going on there. All right, okay. Finally, last thing is this. The overall movement of the universe is expansion in this way, that the superclusters of galaxies are all expanding away from each other. They're all expanding away from each other. Each supercluster of galaxy is expanding away from every other supercluster. Now this is amazing knowledge. Amazing, amazing knowledge. Hey, think of Isaac Newton thinking the sun was a bunch of lumber, right? Think of the fact that we didn't even know there were two galaxies. This is all flooded into us, this kind of knowledge. We're not just on a planet that's just sitting there stable while other stuff is happening. We're not just inside of a solar system. Wow, we're part of this immense happening where it's all opening up. And going back in time, it turns out all of the galaxies that we can see were in one spot 13.7 billion years ago. And that spot was smaller than this room. It was smaller than a pinprick. That's amazing knowledge. What are the implications? That's why you're here. That's why you've come to PCC. I mean, in part, there's other things you come for, but some of you will take this on as a primary task. All of you, I hope, will begin to orient yourself inside of this amazing universe. See, even universe isn't a great word anymore because it has the connotation of a place. See, we have to realize now that universe is a synonym for story. That's one of the changes in consciousness we are going through. There are different ways of saying it. In metaphysics, we can say we're going from substance to process. Right? But in cosmology, we say we're going from the idea that the universe is a place to the idea that the universe is an unfolding story. That's what it means to be universe. We are an element of that, so we too. Our essence is not fixed in terms of what we see before us right now. It's rather a story, a journey.